All right, so the question that I've been getting a lot of is, did Dodge go cheap on the 2023 Dodge Charger Hellcat Jailbreaks, the last calls? If that's the question, the answer is absolutely. Dodge definitely skimped out on some parts in the 2023 last call editions. So you remember in the back seat, you had the fold down middle console with the cup holders? Nope, not anymore. This is one big piece here. And mind you, this is a fully loaded 2023 Hellcat Jailbreak here. Sunroof, leather seats, the whole nine. This does not come down anymore. Moving to the trunk. The trunk now only has one trunk light, which may not be that big of a deal, but all models prior had two trunk lights. This one only has one. And the worst part about the 2023 Dodge Charger last call Jailbreak, the performance pages don't load. All right, guys, so as I'm making this video, I'm not lying to you. As I'm making this video, I'm talking about how Dodge cheaped out on certain things. You know, the back seat doesn't fold down anymore. I don't have cup holders. The trunk only has one light. And I was literally filming the fact that my performance pages was not coming up. I just hit 1,500 miles, 1,500 on this car. I'm filming the fact that my performance pages do not come up on my 2023 Dodge Charger Hellcat Jailbreak. And as I'm filming it, check this out. Guess what happened? It comes up. Literally, after 1,500 miles, it now decides it wants to work. Slow as hell, but it's finally working. See what I'm saying? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Knockout 360, car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets. Anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure to stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So boom, literally as I'm making this video, I made a video a while back, probably about a week or two ago, that my performance pages was not loading up. And I told my man Josh Welch, shout out to my brother Josh Welch at Keffer Dodge on Independence, which is where I bought this Hellcat from. I told him that it's not coming up, and I took it and I had him and my man Mike Sales. You don't know Mike Sales, but that brother is he's the top cop mechanic over there at Keffer. You know, if he's working on your car, you know your car's in good hands. Anyway, Mike Sales, my man Josh Welch, we had Uconnect on the phone. We had even the Dodge app people, you know, we had them on the phone. We had Sirius on the phone. No one could tell me why my performance pages were not loading up. Now, mind you, at the time, I had not hit 1,000 miles. I hadn't even hit 500. I think I was at like 230, 250. Performance pages was not coming up. I let it sit for 40 minutes, and all it did was spin, 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 load, 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 did not come up. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, this is screwed. So they're like, okay, we're going to have to order you a new Uconnect head unit, like a whole new radio unit, right? So I'm like, oh damn, okay, so I guess I got to bring my car in, drop it off, have you guys order the part, you install it. That's probably an all-day thing, because I would imagine you got to pop all of this out and put it in there. So I'm sitting here making this video, and I just hit 1,500 miles on this car, 1,500. I'm sitting here making this video, and I'm talking about how Dodge cheaped out on all the products and this, that, and the other, and how they've been cheaping out on some of the, you know, some of the things that we've grown accustomed to with Chargers and Challengers that they gave us, you know, just because in the models prior to 23. And as I hit the performance page button, it pops up. It goes to the next screen where it's loading performance pages, then it loads the performance pages, literally as I'm shooting this video. So I guess 1,500 miles for 2023 Dodge Charger Hellcat Jailbreaks and Red Eyes is the break-in period for all of your Uconnect to be active, right? Once you hit 1,500 miles, at that point, your car is completely broken in. It's probably time for me to go and do an oil change too, pretty soon, because I've always heard your first oil change, you want to do it a little bit sooner than you know, the subsequent oil change, just because you've got all sorts of engine particles and stuff like that in the oil, or all sorts of metal in the oil from when they built the car. So, you know, you got to get that out before it gets into the engine. But yeah, 1,500 miles is when my Uconnect performance pages comes up. I didn't know that. Nowhere in the manual does it say that. Nowhere on Dodge's website or any of the forums does it say that, but at the 1,500 miles, that's when your car is completely open. Track mode, Uconnect, performance pages, SRT mode, line lock, everything's open at 1,500 miles. So for you guys out there that's ordering a Hellcat or a Scat Pack in 2023, last call, if you're seeing the loading pages thing, 1,500 miles and then you're good. So that really threw a wrench in my plans there, because I was about to talk some big shit about Dodge in this video. But no, on to smaller stuff, and I guess I can add that in. The back seat doesn't fold down anymore. You don't get cup holders or anything in the back seat. The trunk only has one trunk light. A lot of that stuff really doesn't matter to a lot of people, but I mean, considering I've had a 2015 V6 Rally package that was fully loaded, considering I had a 2020 Dodge Charger Scat Pack wide body, it wasn't fully loaded, but it was a Scat Pack wide body. All of them came standard with two lights in the trunk and the cup holders that fold down in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? With this particular trim, considering it's fully loaded for the most part, I think I may be missing out on like the adaptive cruise control up front, where it will like slow you down automatically. I'm not even sure if Dodge is adding that anymore. And I don't have the top of the line sound system in my car, but everything else, sunroof, leather seats, leather flat bottom steering wheel. I've got the red SRT logo that lights up. What else? The carbon fiber front, you know what I'm saying? Everything is pretty much loaded to the top, but for some reason, they're still skimping out on certain parts of this car, still cheaping out on certain parts of this car. So, you know, with that being said, they are cheaping out on some things with the 2023 last calls. And that goes for even the Scat Pack. So my homeboy in my car club, he's got a Challenger last call Scat Pack. I just literally said it, Scat Pack. I was about to say Scat Pack 6.4. But he's got a wide body Challenger Scat Pack last call edition, and it's got the last call badge in the engine and all that stuff. But he got the cloth seats, and I don't think he has a sunroof, and it didn't even come with the B in the seats. Like you see, I got the Hellcat emblem. Let me see if you see, oh Lord, you see I've got the Hellcat emblem in the seats. His doesn't even have the B emblem in his seats at all. You know, he's got cloth seats, but regardless, you're still supposed to have the B emblem, because my 2020 had it. So Dodge is definitely cutting corners in 2023 with the last calls. For what reason, I don't know. Some of you guys have alluded to the fact that it has something to do with, which at this point shouldn't be an issue, but chip shortages. Like, there should be no chip shortages in 23. In 2020 and 21 and 22, I can understand that, because obviously everyone was suffering from chip shortages. But in 23, there should be plenty of chips. You know, there should be, every car should have a bag of chips. You know, there should be no issues as far as the ability to power these cars and do what we've done in the past. And it's not like, you know, we're offering these options in, like, you know, the 23s and only 23s. They've been offering those options since 2015. Like I said, my V6 Rally package had two lights in the trunk. Now, that's not obviously a big deal, guys. I'm not making a big deal about that. But it's just one of those things, like, for this to be a, you know, relatively fully loaded Hellcat, and it is a Hellcat Jailbreak last call edition, Dodge definitely got cheap on some of the parts that it takes to build this car. Everything else is the same. The Uconnect is the same. Let's not act like anything's different. It's not. This year says Jailbreak, if that matters to anybody, but at the end of the day, it's still a Hellcat. But they definitely got cheap on some of the parts, but they didn't get cheap on the price. Whether your car is 90,000, 95, 100, 110,000, they didn't get cheap with that. They don't have a problem charging you and getting that money on these cars, but they do have a problem giving you a fully loaded Charger from head to toe. Now, with the back seat, let me know. This may be specific to my car only. For the guys out there that's got 2023 last call editions, Chargers or Challengers, Hellcat, Scats, RTs, whatever, let me know if I'm missing something. Maybe I just didn't option that out on my option sheet when I was ordering this car, but I didn't think I had to, because every other Charger prior to came standard with that. Let me know if I should have optioned out two lights in the trunk as well. Now, one thing I did want to mention to you guys is that the 23s are different as far as their construction is concerned. They look the same from the outside, look the same from the inside, but they are different under the car, or under the lining of the car, the liner of the car, and even in the engine bay, things are a little different. Because I've taken my car to two different shops thus far, and they have had some issues with mine just because, well, for one, mine is the first 23 that they've seen, and two, Dodge has done some things differently that has, you know, kind of broken the template or broke the mold that a lot of shops are used to. I took my car to Petty's Garage, and the purpose of that was just to have a strut bar front and rear installed. Well, it turns out that there's less room in the engine bay for single bar strut bars, right? So the standard ones where the superchargers here and the strut bar just kind of goes along behind it to contour it. There's less room in the 23s for strut bars than there were previous years. So in the previous years, you could pretty much go anywhere, have a strut bar that contoured along the back of the supercharger. You can't do that anymore with the 23s. Like, it's got to be one of those strut bars that, like, if the supercharger's here, it's got to, like, sit on top of it, you know, because the construction of the engine bay is different in 23s. So for the rear strut bars that they put into my car, the lining on the trunk or in the trunk is different as well. So the lining design or the lining construction in the trunk of the car is different as well. It's different from any other Charger prior to or any other year prior to. So for all you guys that go to your shops and get strut bars installed front and rear, it's completely different in the trunk as well. And they're going to have to create a template on the fly. Now, everything else is the same. As long as your shop is creative and able to think on the fly, they'll be just fine. The guys at Petty's Garage, they knocked it out with no issue whatsoever. Shout out to Petty's Garage. But it is different. And not only that, but my security that I had installed on my car. You know what I'm saying? For the 23s, it's different because all years prior, you were able to remote start your car from the key fob, from the CompuStar key fob, right? I know that's not going to focus. I don't even know why I'm putting it in front of the camera. But you were able to remote start your car from the CompuStar key fob instead of the red key, and it would start it up by default in red key mode, especially when you had the red key with you. Well, for some reason, my car is, or the 23s, are defaulting to the black key mode. So when I do a remote start from the CompuStar key fob, even with the red key on my key fob, and I'm nowhere near my black key, like I'm not even at home at this point, it starts my car up in black key mode. So the signals are different as well. I got an appointment at my man Tunes Car Stereo, my man Andrew. He's going to take a look at it because I just noticed it this week. I remember one day I remote started it and I hopped in and I hit it real hard. And I'm like, hold on, what the fuck is this? Why am I feeling like I'm in a scat pack again? Well, I went to my SRT dashboard. It said black key. So for some reason, my 2023 is reading my the key fob as a black key instead of a red key. So, and you know, I called my guy Andrew, and he's like, I've never seen that before with any of the Chargers or any of the years prior to, but you're the first 23 that I've seen in the past. So, with all that being said, even though on the outside and on the inside of the car, it looks like a Scat Pack, it looks like a Hellcat, it looks like a RT, it looks like a Charger or Challenger, Dodge has made some significant changes to this car under the hood that, you know, isn't apparent to the eye, you know. And as a result, a lot of companies are going to have to go back to the drawing board and literally create templates for 2023 last call Chargers and Challengers. You know what I'm saying? Which is no big deal. It's just one of them things like, you know, make sure wherever you take your car, whether you're getting, I mean, any kind of engine work, any kind of transmission work, pipe work, any of that stuff, just make sure that whatever shop or dealership you're taking your car to, they know it's a 2023 and things may be a little different. Because like I said, I ran into 2 shops already that have had issues with my 2023. And they've literally had to go back to the drawing board and figure it out on the fly. But other than that, guys, I mean, I love this car. I'm not even going to front. And now that my performance pages are working, I'm in love with this car completely. It's not one of those things where, yeah, everything else works except for that. Now that works, so my car is great. Love this car. I mean, I would buy it 3-4 times over if I possibly could. But just be mindful, the 23s are a little different. It seems like Dodge did get cheap in some of the aspects of building this car. But overall, it is still very much so a Charger Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? Let's not front. Big engine, big wheels, big attitude. It's a Charger Hellcat. So, I mean, that's what it is. And, you know, at its essence, and, you know, that's just what it is. With that being said, guys, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me if you are experiencing these things in your 23. With the performance pages, a lot of you guys were saying that my performance pages should have loaded up, I mean, immediately. Like, I took delivery of this car, and it had 2 miles on it. And a lot of you guys were saying that as soon as I took it out of, what do they call it, consumer mode or ship mode, I should have been able to access my performance pages, right? Some of you guys said after 500 miles, I saw somebody that said 1,000. Well, it turns out it's 1,500, at least for my car. Is that the same for your 2023 or even your 22? Has anybody experienced that before? And the trunk, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the back seat, the folding seat, is that just an option that I didn't check the box for? Or is that pretty much standard across the board for all 23s? And then, of course, the trunk, the one light. Once again, not a big deal, just something that I noticed. The one light in the trunk, is that my car specifically, or is that all last call 2023s, Chargers and Challengers? As always, it's Beanie Boy Knockout 360, man. Real quick video here. I'm not actually coming from the gym. I'm going to the gym. So I'm switching things up. You know what I'm saying? Keeping you guys guessing. Tomorrow is my birthday, by the way. So, you know, August 5th. Hit your boy in the DMs. Let me know it's all good, man. As always, it's Beanie Boy Knockout 360, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.